Hey everybody and welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. They call themselves Wolves. They've got all the bite of a basking shark and I'm very, very pleased about that. 0 shots on target for Wolves today. We know they're a bit toothless, but ultimately another clean sheet at home for Manchester United. And as much as people start talking about buying Kim Min-jae, changing the goalkeeper, there can be no disputing. You get fools out there who basically say, "Oh, 7-0, 7-0." We have conceded 8 goals at home this season in 16 home games. We have the best home record defensively by a very long way against any other Premier League team. In fact, we're the only team in single figures conceded at home this season. When you are only conceding 8 goals in 16 games at home, it doesn't matter how, pointless our attack is. You only need 1 goal. And this season, I'll argue this with anybody, this season has been built on our defence. People think because we got stuffed at Anfield and stuffed at the Etihad and stuffed at Brentford and stuffed at Newcastle that it's silly when you say that. But it is. Our defence has given us the platform to sometimes be a little bit wasteful in front of goal. It's been remarkable. And it's all about that win today. It's a fantastic result for Manchester United. It puts us 4 points clear of Liverpool. We've played the same amount of games. We need 6 points now from our last 3 games. And we've got Bournemouth, Chelsea and Fulham to play. 2 of those games at home as well. And at home, we've become very, very good. Get your player ratings in. Links in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. And look, I'm not gonna dispute the fact that it was uncomfortable watching at times. It was really uncomfortable. It was like receiving a nude from your mother-in-law. It's like it was hard to see. But ultimately, unlike that, there was a really, really important message to this, and that was it didn't matter whether we won 8-0 or 1-0. It didn't matter whether we played well or not. At this stage of the season, you've got to win the game. You've got to get the 3 points. We could have played really well and drawn the game. I'm glad Wolves were toothless. I'm glad we won 2-0. It's about getting the 3 points. That's all I'm bothered about. 27 shots and we only won 2-0. Attack needs to do better, says Daniel. But we know that. Villa, we won 1-0. We didn't score at Brighton. We didn't score at West Ham. And today, it should have been maybe 5 or 6. I think Brighton smacked up Wolves a couple of weeks ago. We should have done that as well. There's a lot of people talking about a lot of players. But somebody in the chat just said they'd be very happy if they got a nude from their mother-in-law. Well, all right. But the point remains, we got 3 points. And, I'll take that. I was very prepared for that. I think over the years when we've played Wolves, it's been very, very difficult. They're very boring games, whether it's at the Molineux or whether it's at Old Trafford. They're always boring games against Wolves. The funny thing is, it could have been a very entertaining game today. I thought Wolves were crap, and I think we were just poor in the attack, and we could have made it 5 or 6. But God, I'm relieved. It's just about getting those 3 points. And there are positives in that performance as well. Young Nolan, welcome to Members Club. There are positives in that performance. Garnacho's back. He was fantastic. Varane was back. He was fantastic. Lindelof again was very good. Luke Shaw at left back. Very, very good. Wan-Bissaka was very good. I thought the defence was very good today. I mean, De Gea, I can't say was very good because he had nothing to do, but the back 4 were really good. Casemiro was okay. I was disappointed with Eriksen. I'll talk about that. Bruno was good. And then we'll talk about the front 3 in a minute. But getting those 3 points in that situation is huge. I think Ten Hag took a bit of a risk. Golden Glove confirmed for David De Gea as well. Smash a like on the video. He will be getting that Golden Glove. I'd completely forgotten about that. Another clean sheet for David De Gea. And after a week, I mean, it's ironic, isn't it? After a week where people have been slagging him off, saying get him out of our club, he goes and secures the Golden Glove in a game where he could have been sat at home. It was that easy for him. They didn't even have a shot on goal. So, yeah, big shout out to De Gea on that one. But that's not what I was going to talk about. I think that Ten Hag, that could have gone. Look, I think we've got to be realistic. We've got a massive game against Man City coming up in the FA Cup, and I feel that if Wolves had been a team with a bit more bite, pardon the pun, we might have been in trouble today, because you can't be that wasteful in the Premier League. Normally, you will get punished. To play a team that doesn't even have a shot on target is really strange in this Premier League season. We probably caught the perfect team today, because I think Fulham would have shots on target. I think even Chelsea would have shots on target. So to waste that many opportunities and then play a team that doesn't have one shot on you is quite fortuitous. We probably caught the one team in the league that are a bit like that. And we will be punished by better sides. And I do think that Ten Hag, took calculated risks that he had to take. I mean, when Weghorst came on for Martial, we got worse. He is just basically somebody who runs around. He offers nothing. He missed an absolute sitter with his head. He is very, very low standard footballer. Taking Varane off for Maguire, a very big risk. Varane was playing well, but he obviously had to do it based on fitness levels of Martial and Varane. He obviously knew he couldn't play them for 90 minutes. And then you invite the pressure, hoping that you can catch them on the break, and it worked. On another day, Wolves might have got an equaliser, and then everyone's be sat here going, what is he doing? What is he doing? So we've done that a few times this season, and when it works, I think you've got to give credit to the manager. It did work, and we did get the clean sheet, and we did get the result. So, Ten Hag's had a bad couple of weeks where he's been criticised for his, selections and his substitutions. It's fine margins. Ollie was in the crowd today, and he'll tell you it is fine margins, and high-end sport is fine margins. If they get the equaliser when he's brought Maguire and Weghorst on, people are going to go mad. Why did Varane and Martial go off? We haven't got a game midweek. We haven't got another game in the midweek. What's 10 minutes to get 3 points? He does make those subs. Wolves can't create a chance, and we get and it works. It does. Last week against Brighton, probably deserved a clean sheet. Luke Shaw puts his hand up for a taxi. We concede a penalty, they get a result. Oh, he shouldn't have done this, he shouldn't have done that. Last week at West Ham, David De Gea makes a mistake, we concede 1-0. It's fine margins can make a result very positive and a result very critical. And I think Ten Hag deserved it because, you know what? I still remain in this position. With a week off, we can push hard now, says Ray. I agree. I still remain in this position that I still think that Erik Ten Hag has had a fantastic season. I still look at what I said in August, that I didn't fancy us for top 4. I didn't fancy us for a trophy because I think that was too much too soon. He's delivered 2 domestic cup finals. He's won one of those, and we're looking really good for top 4. You've sometimes just got to look at us. I think a season has to be based on a season, and I think where we were at the start of it and where we are now, he's exceeded my expectations. Anthony's biggest enemy is his decision-making, his massive influence in our game. If he improves it, United will be a much better team and score more. I mean, one thing I will just say before we go into the player ratings is that I said at the start of the season, it's not about where we finish. I don't know what you think about this. It's not about where we finish. It's about how many points we get. And I'm a little bit concerned about our points tally because I felt that 75 points would have been real progress. And to get 75 points, we're going to have to win our last 3 games. I really hope we can do that because I think 75 points from 59 last year and a couple of cup finals would be real progress to build on. We've got to make sure that we do get as close as we can to 75 because I think if we scrape top 4 with like 71 or 72, then that's good. That is improvement, but there's an opportunity to kick on and win the last 3 and take that momentum into the FA Cup final, and that's where Ray's right. Let's kick on now. Please pray for Myanmar. We are facing with Cyclone Mocha, and glad to see Garnacho scoring, says Ong. Thank you very much for that serious message, and obviously thoughts are with you. Tetru says, everyone wants to blame Ten Hag for the subs, but they forget Glazer's out. We to blame for them not providing in January. We need to help them, and they shat the bed. Left Erik Ten Hag out to dry. Look, you've got to make subs. I mean, it's embarrassing that Wolves have better striking options than we do. You have to make subs, and when we make subs, the levels drop. Martial, think what you like. We're a better team with Martial than Weghorst. We're a better team with Varane than Maguire. Sancho and Eriksen come off for Garnacho and Fred. You should be able to make those subs. I would buy 3 strikers this summer and focus on midfield in January. Lack of goals is our huge problem, says Irfan. And both Anthony and Rashford need to pass more, says HK Music. Well, look, no, I think it's massively important that we buy a midfielder. Let's just refresh this and we'll do the player ratings. Remember, you can do yours. Links in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Get your votes in. I like Eriksen. I really do like Eriksen, but I said it during the game and I'll say it to you now. I I think Eriksen needs moving out of that team next season. If you put Casido next to Casemiro, you get somebody who can share the physical load. If you put De Jong next to Casemiro, you get somebody who can share that load. I think Casemiro has way too much work to do. Way too much to do. Eriksen doesn't like a tackle, and he can't play 90 minutes. At this level, Rodri's got Gundogan next to him. You know? Xhaka's got Partey next to him. Casemiro has an attacking midfielder next to him. I like Eriksen, but that position I think is hugely important over the summer. We can't have another season like that. And people wonder why we get smacked up by Liverpool and Man City and Newcastle. It's because when you go away from home and it's just Casemiro for the defensive work, you get overrun. I really like Eriksen, and I'm not getting rid of him. But we need to bring somebody into that role. And I think the last few weeks, it's been very, very obvious. People say Casemiro's dropped off. He's probably exhausted. Varane is so important to this team. He's so underrated, says Hussein. And let's not forget, Eriksen could play further up the pitch. I've always felt that Eriksen's a number 10. You know, Bruno plays all over the place. So I'd like to see Eriksen play more as an advanced player and bring in somebody next to Casemiro who can play more physically. Be it Qatar or Sir Jim, all I want is for United to be debt-free, competitive and financially strong, says Sherenth. And that game proves we need a quick striker to counter and to pair with wingers. Can Kane keep up on the counter with Anthony and Garnacho, says Jordan. Well, I disagree with that, Jordan, because we only countered in the last 15 minutes because Wolves were going for the win. Most of the time, Wolves will play a low block. Love watching the United stand from Sydney, says Young Nolan. Australia, what's your opinion on Anthony and his selfishness? Also, will you come to Australia soon? Says, well, I'm not coming soon, but I would like to come. Let's go through the player ratings because then we can talk about Anthony and that. So for me today, I'd probably give De Gea a standard 6. I'm not, he's going to get the Golden Glove. I think that's fantastic. Another clean sheet at home, fantastic. But they didn't have a shot on target. His distribution was fine today. There was nothing wrong with that. But he didn't have to make any saves, so just an average 6. Wan-Bissaka today, probably give him a 7. I think the defence have to take the credit for this performance. The attack was wasteful, and the defence has provided that platform that the result was never in doubt. So I thought Wan-Bissaka had a very strong game today. They couldn't get any change out of our back four at all. I think Lindelof was fantastic. I'd give him a 7 as well. I'm trying to think who my man of the match is going to be. But yeah, I think Lindelof was brilliant again. What a run of games he's on at the moment. Played very, very well. Just very consistent. Very, very, very consistent at the moment. Varane back in the team was a boost, a major boost. His leadership, that ball over the top where De Gea was coming to get it and he was just like controlled it out of the air and then booted it away. I just think Varane makes a massive difference to that team, and I noticed we were starting to see more of the high fives again, and more communication in the back four, and he brings that. So I thought he was very, very good today as well. I'd probably give Varane my man of the match, I think, while I'm thinking about it. Luke Shaw back at left back, very, very good. I wish we had 2 Luke Shaws because he's so. You could argue he's been the best centre-back in the Premier League the last few weeks, and also he's one of the best left-backs. So Luke Shaw was just very consistent. Again, like Lindelof, just a very good performance. And it was nice to see him getting forward. And look, he put an absolute sitter onto Anthony's head in the first half. He's done his job. As an attacking left-back, he's done his job. Anthony's missed the sitter on it. Casemiro, probably just another 6. I thought he was very steady. I don't think he's anywhere near his best at the moment, but I do think people are over-egging the pudding, saying he's not been very good. I don't think he was bad today. I think he was just, a steady performance from Casemiro. I think he can be a lot better. You could argue he's been a bit worse in recent weeks, but I think Casemiro is probably a bit burnt out. He's had a lot of work to do, but I thought he was good today. Eriksen, I was a bit disappointed with Eriksen today. I'd probably give him a 5.5. Has he rushed himself back from injury? Is he one of those players that when he's been injured, it takes him a month to get back? He's not in the groove at the moment. His passing's not great. His shooting's not great. He doesn't offer a lot defensively. I would expect at home, with the possession that you're going to get, I expected Eriksen to have a good game today. And I think it's becoming more and more obvious that One, he's not the same player he was before his injury, and maybe a pre-season and everything will be really beneficial. But I think we also need somebody with a bit more robustness next to Casemiro, and I'd like to see Eriksen probably play a little bit more advanced. Bruno, I thought was good today. Give him a 7. Yeah, look, the shooting was poor. You could mark him down for that, but the leadership, the tenacity, the energy, he had a big part in both goals. That's the thing about Bruno. He is a player that can be wasteful, but also you look back on the game and go, he did this, he did this, he did this. Just a relentless monster this season. And, I think it's getting very interesting for who your player of the year is going to be, because I said the other day on Twitter, I'd probably still go Casemiro because of the role he's had on the team. But Bruno may well have been more consistent across the season, Anthony today is an intriguing one. I mean, really, I could be giving him a 9. He should be having a 9 because the header, the chances, the passes he should have played, he could have had a goal, he could have had a couple of goals and a couple of assists. It could have been the complete performance. And this is what gives me excitement about Anthony, because it's only his first year and he does get into positions where he can score and he can pass. And I think if he figures that out, we've got second season could be huge for him. I think he's on the cusp of being really good, but obviously he's still got things to learn. Now, I've seen players that fail at United. They don't get into the position and they don't get the chances. So I actually think Anthony today, you've got to give him a 6. But it could have been a really good performance, and I don't think it was a bad performance. I just think it's about decision-making and composure, because he gets into the positions. He works really hard. And I think he's going to be a fantastic player. Today could have been awesome. I think it ended up being okay. I don't think it was bad. And he was probably representative of our performance, really. We got the job done. It's a good result. It could have been an absolute pounding, and we've got to figure out how we do that in future. There's gears to go through. Sancho, I don't know. What have you lot given him? Yeah, I'd probably go 6 or 5.5. You need more. That performance from Sancho today would be okay if it was Elanga. It would be okay if it was Pellistri. But this is Jadon Sancho. We've paid £75 million for him. He's on £350,000 a week. I still think we've got to be patient. I don't think it was terrible, but I expect more. It was a bit of an Eriksen performance. The standard is higher than that performance. For Christian and Jadon, they're better than that performance today, and you wonder why we're not getting those performances. That's all. I like both players. I think they're better than that today. I thought he was unlucky on the shot. I think it was a very good save by the keeper. He should score from there. He should be putting it in a place where the keeper can't save it. I mean, any goalkeeper will say that any save they make, normally it's because the strikers or the attacker hasn't hit it as well as they should do, and it's giving you an opportunity to save it. But I don't think it was dreadful by Jadon. I just think that we need to get a little bit more, don't we? We need a little bit more. Gina G, we need a little bit more. Anthony Martial, 6.5 for me. I want him to play more. I don't understand. He's been fit since the middle of March. We're now in the middle of May. So Anthony Martial, this is my problem, right? Anthony Martial has been fit for 2 months. We played last Sunday. He can only play, 70 minutes? And we haven't got a game for another week. He can't play 90 minutes. He can't play. We have to bring Weghorst on for 20 minutes and drop off because Martial can't play 90 minutes. And yet he's been fit for 2 months. It's terrifying how little match fitness he has and how little we can risk him. But we're a much better team with him in the team. I still think, he falls over a lot. He doesn't look as quick. He doesn't look as sharp. But he got the goal today. And, he's the best striker we've got until the summer. And I'll repeat what I said last week. We need him on the pitch every week because he is the best striker we have. There's huge improvement that can be made. That's why we're going to buy a striker. But out of all the options we've got, he is the best striker we've got. So, it was a positive that he scored, and he's got another week not to get injured, and hopefully we can beat Bournemouth and Chelsea, and it's job done. Weghorst, for me, look, 5.5. If we're being honest, he runs around a lot, but that's, there's literally nobody else, is there? I'm not going to dwell on it. I like Weghorst, but he's not a Man United quality player. Not at all. Maguire, look, average 6. Fred 6. Garnacho 7. Came on, great to have him back. Scored a very good goal. Really good composure. The thing about Garnacho is, and I've been saying this all season, is whenever he's on the pitch, something happens. He'll take somebody on and it goes out for a corner, or he'll take somebody on and he'll score. He has that. The reason everyone's so excited about Garnacho is because things happen when he gets the ball. And lo and behold, he's still got a lot of work to do when Bruno sends him through one-on-one as well. So very, very pleased to have him back. Very, very pleased he hasn't gone to the Under-20s World Cup, because he's come on and scored a goal for us, and he could be really important in the coming weeks, especially with this Rashford injury. I mean, look, some people felt that Ten Hag should have let him go to the Argentina team for the Under-20s. Well, this is why Ten Hag's the manager, and this is why, I support him and many other people do. He said no. It probably upset Garnacho, but Garnacho will be sat there tonight going, Rashford's injured. I've come on and scored a really important goal. He's a Man United player at the end of the day. Ten Hag 7 for me tonight. It could have gone different ways. We could have won 6-0 and we're giving him an 8. They could have equalised when we went on to play counter-attacking football, and we'd probably give him a 5. Fine margins, but he got it right today. And, it was so important we win. A win is all that matters, and he certainly did that. Who was your man of the match? Varane, 24%. It was close. Garnacho got 20%, 18% for Lindelof. Luke Shaw was in 4th place. So 24% is quite low for man of the match. It was spread out, but in some ways that's a positive, isn't it? Because effectively what that means is that there was a few good performances for Manchester United tonight. And I'm very happy that Rafael Varane was back, and we needed that type of a performance tonight. We needed a bit of leadership. I don't know, I've been saying tonight all day, and it's this afternoon, although technically you could say it is tonight, I suppose. But fantastic performance for Manchester United, and a fantastic result that thoroughly deserved as well. And it just gives us that focus and confidence that... Sorry, 1 minute. It gives us that confidence and focus that really matters in this battle for top 4. Varane was my man of the match, says Natum. They need to get Garnacho on more, says Tar. Well, the one thing I was just checking there is I just wanted to check Erik Ten Hag's quotes to see if we've got any after the game, because I think Marcus Rashford's injury is something that I would almost be thinking, do we need to rush Rashford back? Because really, I want Rashford ready for the FA Cup. And if that, I just don't want to. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk him getting injured. So really, you've got Garnacho back now. You've got Bournemouth away. If Martial's fit, I'd almost be tempted at Bournemouth to play Garnacho off the left. I don't know what people think about this. I'd go Garnacho off the left, Anthony off the right, and Martial down the middle, and just not involve Rashford and give him a couple of weeks. And then I'd be thinking Rashford back for Chelsea, Rashford back for Fulham, and then you're ready for the FA Cup. That's what I'd look to do. But, we do need Rashford back, definitely. Anyway, let's get over to the fan forum. Let's see what everyone's got to say. And don't forget, tonight, I'm live on YouTube, Talk Sport, 7:30 till 9 o'clock. It's the Mark Goldbridge show. Get your calls in. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a TalkSport won't be listening. If you want to call in about the United sale, it's national radio. So call in. TalkSport tonight. Have your say. Get on there. Get vocal about it. It's a national radio show, and loads of people hear it. So 7:30 till 9 o'clock on TalkSport, national radio, but it's on YouTube as well. Call in, have your say. Looking forward to it. Thanks everyone for watching. It's Ahmad Times, as Robert McCormack. I'll see you over on the forum. They're live now.